this is the bit where we manually verified. Now it is automated. So the moment you run, this will go get the response from the Kafka server and unparse it, then check that it was successfully produced, and also it gave a structure. Okay, so let's just follow what Claude is doing. Okay, so here is there. Okay, so let's do one by one. We'll keep just for directory, we'll get a new directory, Kafka automation. Okay, inside that we'll copy this, download and download. That's it. Now go to download Kafka automation, paste it here, add it. It's fine. Now let's go to Claude and see the diced structure what is created. Very simple diced structure. One is for environment, one is for tests. env tests. So move the environment file to environment, test file to test. That's it. And just to check it is hanging up correctly. Yeah, you can do a format. Let's say Alt Command L. So it's nicely formatted here. Okay, environment. So it has Claude, producer and consumer, everything here. We are going to, let's separate it out. Okay, because if you see in the example here, we go to src test, new folder, and resources, Kafka test server data resources. How it is maintained here? Where is it? Kafka servers, Kafka test server dot properties. And here the best practice is to maintain a producer properties and consumer properties separately, which makes life much easy going forward. Okay, we'll also ask Claude to do it. We'll not do it. Okay, now separate out the producer and consumer properties to separate files like done here. Move out basically and give me the new dot properties files. That's it. Don't worry about spelling mistake. Claude takes care of it. So it's doing the job. So because it's doing a lot of heavy weighting job for you. So okay, now it has. Okay, now I think it has created all this, so we can download all we can do, or we can download one by one here. Download and download. Kafka local server, producer and consumer. Kafka local server, consumer and producer. Copy it and paste it here. And then this local server is redundant, so we can delete this. We don't need. So let's see what it has done. So it has done pretty much a nice thing. So producer, so it is pointing to here Kafka servers, but in our case we have to point to, or here you can rename it this as a Kafka server. So this is a part of your review process because it's so obvious that the directory doesn't exist. So what exactly this string serializer and string deserializer, string serializer and string serializer in key and value means if you take this JSON message and if you make it a single line, okay, let's make it a single line here. So the entire line here, it's a string. So Kafka, even though it's a JSON file is nothing but a string in a proper convention, like the keys are wrapped by double quotes here. All the keys are wrapped with double quotes, and some values are wrapped by double quotes and some values are not, particularly the numbers are not. So our test properties, where we are not doing anything with the consumer, we are dealing with producer now. We are telling the Kafka client that whenever you find a key, use a string serializer, serialize it and pass it in the network so that Kafka server gets it. And when you pass a value, also use string serializer. Okay. So we have the test running. Now how to run the test? How to run this? So it says run scenario, producer test and this test. So let's copy this and let's create the test command here. Scenario test produce, yes, correct. env, so we don't have this env, we have Kafka servers only, right? So we can remove it, or you can rename to env and run it. So that's pretty much fine, not a problem. Okay, now how does this steply comes into picture here? So for that you have to simply run one command which runs the steply here. Has it given here? It's given here. See, install steply, just one command. So if I copy, you paste it here, or you can simply open a terminal and in this or anywhere in your terminal, doesn't matter, your home directory or anywhere, just paste this. So what it does a curl, it goes to the GitHub steply install.sh and it brings down to your local laptop and runs it. Hit enter. So it downloaded the latest version and hit it. So now we can check whether the steply really installed or not. Steply -v or minus version, you can type. Yes, it is installed. Same thing, -v also works. Yeah, and this made the Claude made your life convenient, but you can always go to steply here and you can see the commands are available here for Mac, Linux, Ubuntu, everything. The same command basically Claude give you, and there is example when you are doing a CI/CD setup. Same command, it runs in the CI/CD. It's pretty much as simple as that. And for Windows, what you can do is go to this release folder here, this release folder, and download steply and install it. You should download, unzip it, and set your Just download, unzip it, and set your Java class path, hopefully already set, and point to the bin directory of unzipped file. That's it. Then you do steply -v, it will give you the install version. Okay, so that's pretty much done. Or you can ask Claude how to install it. It will tell you to manually install it. Okay, so that's pretty much done. Now we have to run it. First of all, we see whether there is any topic. We don't have to create topic because the topic will automatically created when you start producing your first message. Yeah, now we have everything is ready, and we got the command ready as well, where we closed it. So here, so instead of Kafka servers, we can simply just keep it short, name it as environment. These are basically environment properties where we are externalizing all our host names, servers, producers, consumers into separate files. So only those you can manipulate when your server changes. env. So if you want to, if you changed here, of course you would want to change here as well. env slash producer property, consumer properties. Okay, so that's pretty much, we are ready to run now. Let's open a new command and copy this. Okay, just to make you understand what this is doing. So it is telling steply, pick the scenario. Minus scenario means pick the scenario. Which scenario? The producing scenario, which is automated, and against which environment? To tell this target environment is this, and this should be also env, right? Yes. Or you can put all this in one line as well. Okay, so your usual, pretty much usual stuff. Okay, option, value, option, and the value. Okay, let's copy it and run it here. Okay, but you see you are in a Docker Kafka here, so you have to change directory to the test directory here, which is Kafka automation. So you have the test folder and env folder. You can remove the target folder. Now you have test folder and env folder. Just to minus LR, if you do capital R, it will give you a folder by folder things. So env folder, it contains this, test folder contains this. So pretty much what we wanted, what you are seeing in your ID here, you saw that in command line. Now let's run, paste it here. Okay, and run it. Yeah, the test has passed. So what it did, you see, so it ran the scenario, which is this, and it picked the order topic, and it produced message, which is our payload, and the record type is JSON. The value is this, and Kafka gave a response as well. It's saying status was okay, and it gave a metadata, means the offset is 1 and the partition is 0. That is where the message landed. It's here. In this, there will be 0, 1, 2, all these boxes. This box, if you divide into four blocks, so partition, so offset 0, offset 1. So offset 1 means already the second offset here. First offset, then second offset here. So it's already second. So that means one message is already lying there. because we run a couple of times. Run it, enter it again. So another message will. Okay, let's run it again. Things should change. Okay. Okay. So see, the offset is 2 this time. It wrote to the next offset. Yeah, so response is this. This is the actual response, and which we didn't know before running the test. We are only interested what we are expecting, and we are expecting that status should be okay, and topic should be order topic. Is this, and that is what available in the response. That is why the test passed. Okay, so the topic is order topic, and status is okay, and this offset keeps changing, so we cannot assert that way, so we can assert this way. For example, record metadata, and here you can put offset. Instead of 2, you can put dollar not null, means offset has a value which is not null. Okay, now if you run it, pass. But if you make it dollar null, that you are expecting offset as a null, which is a incorrect expectation, so the test will fail. I'm just giving variations of your automation scenarios which you can do. Let's run this. The test failed, and it will give exact reason why it failed. You see, record metadata offset with actual value 4 did not match with expected value null. So the actual value is 4, and you are expecting a null. So that's why it failed. So I'm giving an idea that you have a scenario, you can do a lot of variations here, okay, and test it. So everything, it's getting a response and comparing against your expectation and giving you a result. And one more beautiful thing is it creates a target folder locally, and it writes your logs here. See, it keeps a audit. So if you run it today, and after a month or after a couple of weeks you want to go and see everything is available what you did, that is one thing. And also it has a HTML report, which if you double click it, it opens here. See, one scenario failed, which is the 4 didn't match with null, and rest of the thing passed. Just to give a nice view, just to get a nice view, all these things you can get. So those are all out of the box, but we are focusing on how to automate a Kafka scenario. The reporting and log stuff and all, there are other videos specifically created for that. You can go and have a look. Okay, so this is pretty much what a produce scenario looks like. In the next video, we'll address a consume scenario. Okay, how to consume a message and assert, because we have put this order so many times, and we have to consume and see whether that order was really available or not. Okay, because here only you verified the acknowledgement that it has been produced. Okay, that's pretty much for this video. And just to recap everything, we saw how Claude made our life easy, and Claude gave everything what we needed, but we had to tidy up little bit of thing. Let's say if you wanted to go with, let's say, Kafka server here, that will also work. There is no doubt about it, but let's change this. Kafka servers and Kafka servers. And that's pretty much. And while running, we have to make this Kafka servers. Okay, we'll introduce a wrong thing. Okay, XXX. See, it failed. Now, because that folder doesn't exist. servers. Yeah, so it failed, but for a right reason, because the value is still null. So you make it not null, it should pass. Kafka servers here, and we're expecting a pass this time. Yeah, it is passed. So you saw, without writing even a single line of code, you have automated a very complex part of a business problem, which is producing a message to a Kafka topic and asserting that it is successfully produced. So you don't know Kafka fundamentals very well, for example. Still you can do automation testing. If you know what message you are producing to the topic and what is your expectation in a layman term. So you don't have to be expert in Kafka to do automation. You can simply arrange your payload and arrange your expectations, which is called assertions, and proceed with. So instead of verify here, you can write assertions as well. It works. Okay, you see. Okay, but you can't put XYZ and expect it to work. That's a bad expectation. Okay, so it will exactly say, see, assertion XYZ is not defined. Okay, so this is the framework flexibility they have given. Verify, assertions pretty much mean the same thing. Okay, we'll stop here, but before stopping now, let's think you have run everything locally. Now you want to take it to your CI/CD pipeline. You can ask Claude. Now everything runs locally fine. Give me the GitHub Actions pipeline YAML file to run as CI. Run in CI. That much it will understand. Let's see what Claude is giving.